Hi, I'm James Milward, co-founder of Herd FM. So we believe there's a fundamental human need to share music as an expression of identity and friendship. And so we built Herd, which is an application and platform that helps people discover and share music in places with friends. When you open up the app, you're going to see your location on a map with music around you, and that music's been left by other users in our system virtually. You can stream that music and see the artist, label, and person that left that in your area. You can save it to a playlist, share it within your social networks, and you can even leave it in new places for others to find. Think about it kind of like a geo-caching scavenger hunt where people connect around the music they discover. So if there's already services like SoundCloud, which enfranchise artists and distribution digitally, and Foursquare is proving the popularity of location-based check-ins and promotions, then Herd FM builds on both of these to really enfranchise that human need to share music as an expression of identity and friendship in the places that matter to people. For artists and labels, we have a really cool system where we basically let them offer custom promotions to understand and reward their fans in the places where they listen to music. We're already working with brands to create branded locations in the places that they control, and we're already talking with Air Canada about doing that in airports. Our team is 100% Canadian, as you can see. I own a digital ad agency working with brands like Chevrolet and Cadbury, and my two co-founders include an IP lawyer and a producer at MTV. We've got a lot of early momentum. We cleared our app through the iTunes store last week. Our web dashboard launches in a few days. We already have a bunch of artists and labels on board, and more are contacting us daily. We raised $750,000 in financing 2 weeks ago. Our fundamental mission is to enable sharing of music and location between friends. Thank you very much.
Right here. David,
All right.
give me your thoughts.
So, I'm not sure I completely get it. Walk me through a use case. Tonight, I'm at a bar listening to music in Austin. What do I do with the app?
So right now, the app launched last week. It's a fairly stripped down version of what our product roadmap will be. It does a couple things really, really well. You can basically see music that's been dropped by users in locations. So if you downloaded the app, you'd see a bunch of music that's already been dropped this week around Austin, Texas.
From other users who are using this app?
Exactly.
Okay.
And right now, what we assembled for South by Southwest was essentially what could only be defined as a Herd FM mixtape. So we have about 60 tracks right now in the service because our web dashboard hasn't launched yet. So let me just explain what our web dashboard does. Basically, it allows any artist, publisher, label, or brand who owns the rights to music to upload music to our system, locate that in areas that they feel are important to them. So whether that be tour locations, local places that might have served as inspiration, or places that they control if they're a brand, and geo-distribute that music for fans. So if you as a user open the app in a few weeks, you'll start to see more and more music that's generative in the system by artists who have started to upload their own music. What we've done so far is we've partnered with labels like Last Gang and Dine Alone to grab a whole bunch of artists like Metric, Chromeo, Crystal Castles, to bring those artists in for South by Southwest. So right now you can only drop the tracks that are in the service today.
So artists are tagging and putting music into the system and tagging it to a geolocation.
That's right.
So that when I'm in that geolocation, that music becomes available or visible to me?
Yes, so let's just, a good scenario, a simple scenario. You're at a music festival, you go to the Last Gang showcase tomorrow night, and you open up Herd, and you're gonna see a bunch of tracks that the Last Gang record label has left in that location. So you can queue up music that might be playing soon. You can queue up bands that you might not have in that showcase that aren't down in Austin that you can understand their type of music. You can play that music, share it, and you can also purchase it through the system.
Okay. Judges?
So super cool idea and playing on, everything is becoming like location aware and proximity matters. Question I have is really kind of two sides of the same coin. One is the cold start problem. So for areas that aren't as hot, right, how do you actually seed them with music so people don't show up to no music? And for areas that are super hot, how do you avoid, pardon the pun, the stampeding herd problem, where I open it up and there's tons of tunes and tons of stuff have been dropped and I'm overwhelmed by it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So what we're focusing on right now is very specific targeted markets, similar to how Facebook and Foursquare launched. So really figuring out those targeted locations that mean something to people with music. So South by Southwest is an example where we're focusing on music festivals throughout the next year, cities that have a big music scene, and we're sort of opening up those locations one by one. When you start to get a lot of music in places, so if you open up the app, you'll start to see a lot of music around the Hilton and the convention center. You can literally pinch and pull the app, so you can get pretty granular. GPS is 30 meters apart, so you can get pretty granular within that system. And also one of the things that we're really, really focusing on soon in our product roadmap is enabling better filtering of that music. So not only filtering of genre and type of music, but also filtering by friends. So we can bring in the Facebook API and start to filter by the type of music that you've already maybe tagged on your Facebook wall or have shared with friends.
Two quick questions. First, if I'm in a band, how do you keep me from just plastering my shitty tracks everywhere? And
That would never happen, right? Never.
The YouTube effect.
And second question, is it only music? Or could you do like audio, like I have a restaurant, the menu special is geolocated?
Yeah, so I'll answer the second question first. So right now we've started with music, but really it's all digital media. So you can tag photos, video. We've already started, we have video working within the system. We haven't launched it within the app. We've got Vimeo, Vivo, and YouTube running through the system, and we can also let people upload their own videos. So we're already working with big blogs like Black Cab Sessions, who did a whole bunch of sessions here in Austin to put video in. And in terms of how do we curate the music within the system or keep that music within the system, it's a really good point, because I think one of the things we've realized is if you open up the app and it's full of shitty music, you're probably not going to open it up again. So one of the things we're doing is we're having this initial curation period where, obviously with a label like Last Gang or Dine Alone, we have a pretty good idea that they're putting decent music in. But with the artists that come in through the backend system, we're basically curating the first 2 tracks that they upload. If that reaches our criteria, then we clear them through the system and let them upload more music.
So is this aimed more at labels?
How's
This is
that
aimed more at
going to
labels, right?
scale when you have 8 million or
So-
a billion geolocations?
It's a good point. There's a number of things that we're going to be enabling within the back end to allow community filtering. So we're allowing heavy users to be enfranchised and bubble up to the surface. So one of the projects that I've worked on and co-own a small part of is a site called trendhunter.com, which is the largest trend hunting innovation site in the world. We just reached 32 million page views last month. So one of the things that we've had a lot of success with Trend Hunter is having community-generated trends submitted and grow the system. So one of the things we're realizing is you start to enfranchise those top-tier contributors or players within the system, and you start to allow them to filter the music that comes into the system. So they're getting music within the system that they actually like, and you trust your users to help you generate that. And obviously, we're still going to have some editorial staff within our system. It actually doesn't take a lot of time to go through 2 tracks. It can happen very, very quickly.
So this is aimed primarily at labels, not artists.
It's aimed at anyone who owns the music. So if, we've created an ecosystem that allows all musicians, labels, publishers, and brands to enter the system. For an independent artist who is sort of their own ecosystem, they can control that upload and location. Labels can work with us directly, and so can brands.
Yeah, one of my questions was, how does the music get there in the first place? So then the music owners would have to upload MP3s. Is it MP3s?
It's MP3s right now, and we're looking at integrating with other services like SoundCloud.
So I guess like if I had my phone and then I tagged something, I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. I guess so then labels or music owners, whatever, would have to pay you guys for the service? Like that's how the money part would come into it?
Yeah, so we kind of have, so the app is free to download for listeners.
Right.
On the artist or label, or let's just call them the publisher side, it's free to use as well. We're working with sort of a freemium model in that scenario whereby artists get a taste of being able to geo-distribute their music, and then they pay for premium services. So one of the things that we do a really good job of is start to tell artists and labels really, really detailed geolocative metrics around where people are listening to the music. And that's going to help them start to plan tours, plan distribution, plan merchandise. So the premium services in the back end that start to provide real value and monetization, like one of the things we're allowing them to do is sell merchandise through the app over the long term, sell tickets. Those premium services are going to be paid as subscription for.
So one more thing that I wanted to say before. So then someone who accessed to say, oh, my friend tagged this song here, they would be limited to the songs that were in the Heard sort of library. And then also, do they just stream those songs, or then they're able, oh, you said that they could buy them?
They can, so currently they can purchase them, like you can purchase a song through iTunes today.
Yeah.
You can stream that music. One of the things we're enabling in our back end is artist, label, publisher control over that. Mm-hmm. So one of the things we do today is we throttle the amount of plays that someone can stream. So you earn one stream when you open up the app and you find a track. If you share it within your social networks, you earn another stream. If you redrop it in a new location, you earn another stream. But that's ultimately something that artists and labels can control for themselves. So if they don't care about letting someone download their music, then they can provide an iTunes code to do that. If they only want to throttle to one stream, they can stop it.
Sean?
So early on, you're focusing on markets, obviously, that skew towards big music consumption, lots of activity, makes an awful lot of sense. Are you similarly focused around the app being one for the people who really care about discovery and care about emerging acts, or are you not applying that filter to optimize for that? Because the reason I ask is I think you're dealing with two completely different sets of consumers when you initially start, right? The people who care about discovery and care about emerging acts do not want to hear the latest Katy Perry tune when they open up your app.
Right. And so while we're building a system to enable all kinds of music, there's definitely a focus on discovery of independent and new musicians today. And those are the things that we're getting real traction with our small group of users who've started using it. Like we really only have a couple hundred people in the system. We haven't really done any marketing of it, so.
And with that, we're out of time.
Thank you.
We can talk after if you want to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.